Greetings to you all, and hello. Welcome to this broadcast. I'm broadcasting from another device, so I don't know the quality of the stream. I'd be happy if you can inform me of that. I was trying to get into landscape mode. It's not working as yet, so we get that sorted out. But I'm just here with you briefly this evening. I don't need the dress up environment tonight. All right. Loud and clear. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So as I said, this will be a brief broadcast because what I have to address doesn't require 2 hours or 3 hours. It requires my addressing Anil Nandalal and the PPP Civic as directly as I need to address them. Because if ever there would have been a time for those who are supposed to be leaders to get their act together and to ensure that the tone in this country is different, the ethnic tone, we call the racial tone. But racial is not a good thing, but the race tone. I believe in saying ethnic tone because there's only one race as far as I'm concerned, and many others share that view. But the tone in this country, Anil Nandalal, caused primarily by how your political party would have chosen to deal with those of African descent in the decade that the United Nations would have set aside for those of African descent. I didn't know that, and I always tell you all that. You go to the UN and hate them. Send Ali back to the UN and tell them that they're wrong for setting aside 10 years to focus primarily on the plight of the African descendants. It has been proven across the world that those who would have suffered, not chosen to come anywhere, suffered at the hands of the Europeans in what is called slavery. Those people, called Africans, still suffer in reference to opportunities, economic justice, be it social justice, in the judicial system, and so many other areas. In reference to their job, the secular environment, the working, the experiences in the university. They have been rejected from colleges of high standards because they are African descendants. The UN proved all of that. And at the United Nations level, they decided that for 10 years, they're going to focus on those of African descent having some degree of reparation or recognition. Y'all in the PPP decided that for the past 4 years, you're going to show Guyanese how biased and racist you are. I'm ready for you tonight. I'm ready for you at any time and at any forum. Now, as I said, this is brief, but I need to address this. I don't want you to hear my outfit. That's why I didn't dress it particularly tonight. I want you to hear my voice. Anil Nandalal. You are paid to be or to serve as what is called the Attorney General of this country. You, not me, you said when the fella at Sokur was arrested, yes he did, because if she's not free to move, she's arrested. An attorney who sought to have her client maintain his right to be silent. You, Anil, said that you are the advisor of the Guyana Police Force. You said that. You said that you reached out to the young Indian man and told him to, note I use the word Indian, and I'm going somewhere with this. You said you reached out to the Indian man and told him, you didn't use the word Indian, but you reached out to the man who happens to be Indian, of East Indian descent. And you said that you told them that they need to free the woman. You said that they need to stop, let this woman go, and they shouldn't do what they're doing. You said, Anil Nandalal, that you are, by right, you said that you are the advisor, legal advisor to Guyana Police Force. Well, A man of African ancestry named Kaki Amsterdam was arrested. And last week, Kaki Amsterdam was labeled as a Negro male. In the year 2024, according to Pope Gregory's calendar, a Guyanese male was labeled as a Negro. In 2024, according to Pope Gregory's calendar, an African man, or he may be Hebrew, was labeled a Negro by other African descendants in the Guyana police force. And you, instead of advising them, Anil, that this is unacceptable, you said that for 180 years nobody had an issue with it. Or the past 180 years it was used in the police force. And that Nigel Hughes and Miss Jeffers, two attorneys representing Kaki, were opportunistic. They just sought to make this a whole race issue. Well, Anil Nandalal, you are functioning in your typical mode when these things come to you. And I'll tell you why. Because anyone who I deem to be racist, or who proves to me that they're racist, has the challenge that you have exhibited publicly, which is that you have a challenge, a grave difficulty when it comes to honestly and genuinely seeking to stand for the right of any race that you hate. You are exhibiting that trait. Unfortunately or fortunately so for me. I'm happy that I'm seeing it. Others may think it's unfortunate. But you have the telltale sign. And you can go tonight and report that hurt your feelings. You can go and make a report or make a phone call to tell the police that I've hurt your feelings. Good? And call it cyberbullying. And call it a cybercrime. And you, Anil, big 50-year-old, 49-year-old man, tell the police that I've hurt your feelings. Because I will hurt it. Your demeanor in the midst of this situation proves to me, based on my observation, that you are a racist. Because what you have done, you cannot defend the cause of an ethnic group. That's a sign of a racist. Where you can't bring yourself to the place of saying this is entirely unacceptable. Now you got the nerve to tell me, and Guyana, that the police would have been using this terminology for 180 years? Really? For those of you who have the ability, unlike many who support the PPP, those who have the ability to reason and be intelligent, let me present facts to you. The transatlantic slave trade began in the year about 1520 something thereabout. I don't know the exact date, but I know some in the early 1500s. 1520 something. Or maybe 30 something. I did history and I don't like it. Because what they taught me in school as history is garbage. They never taught me that Africans were or the Hebrew people were wealthy. They never taught me that they were princes and princesses. They never taught me that they were kings and great businessmen. So I have an issue with Caribbean history. I didn't begin as any slave. But my problem with you, who would want to behave as if you don't have sense, is that you have to pay attention to something, Anil Nandalal, because you demonstrated to me in this situation the zenith, the epitome of jackassery and donkeyism. You, Anil, would have proven that in this situation to the highest degree. It shows that you are unlearned, you are unskilled in terms of research, and I don't know how you turn senior counsel. To suggest in a statement that for 180 years, the Guyana police force were describing people as Negro and that's supposed to be acceptable? Why you didn't say it should stop? If y'all in the PP like black people so much, I didn't refer myself a black, but I'm saying what you say. If you like black people so much, how could you not say this is unacceptable? How could you not say that this is unacceptable? So let me present you some history on it. The slave trade began in the early 1500, 1520, thereabout, 30, somewhere around there. Mind you, the very first time, Anil Nandalal, that the word Negro was used was 1555, somewhere around there. You get the point yet? The word Negro was not in existence before the slave trade. Let me start with giving you sense. So why and it was first used in Europe, why would the first time that this word Negro be used would be during the slave trade when it was most profitable and the white man decided that these people here, you call them Negro, meaning be black. It registers you yet? Do you know there were advertisements for my foreparents, not yours? Because you're never Negro. Maybe you have it in your blood somewhere. I don't know if maybe the milkman, the postman touched somebody in your bloodline. But I don't know you to be Negro. I know you to be black, according to US's description of who you are. But Anil, let me tell you straight. The term Negro was first used during the slave trade, not before it. And my foreparents, other Hebrew descendants and African descendants, all foreparents were classified in advertisement. Strong Negro, young buck, solid Negro, good, healthy female, for sale. Negro, we were described as. We were told, my foreparents, I would been in loins, that is my Negro. Does that sound to you, Anil Nandalal? Does that sound in any way complimentary to you? And as being worthy of being in circulation in Guyana? In the year 2024, according to Pope Gregory's calendar. Okay, so let me make this quick for you. Because I know when it comes to some of y'all who support this criminal clan, you all have a challenge reasoning well. And you still have a challenge reasoning well. So let me present the cold, hard, dirty facts to you all. Because the other night there was a broadcast. And I know that there were many with Nigel Hughes and others who sought to restrain themselves in speaking the way I do. And I understand that. But I don't have anything to hold back when it comes to you all. Aubrey Norton may still be strategizing as to how he's going to deal with this situation. Aubrey may still be sitting down to figure out what's the best approach to addressing Anil Nandalal. Aubrey may still be considering whether protesting, they haven't done that yet, is the good thing to do, or which form of protest should he take. Aubrey still deciding whether going out to represent, and Aubrey, you blacker than me. Because I've got a European grandfather. So it shows. But you, as dark as you are, could not even go to stand in front of Eve Leary and tell Clifton Hickenway to get off. In 2024, you got Anil Nandalal defending police calling me Negro? Young man, that term, Negro, Anil Nandalal, in the 1960s, as a matter of fact, was deemed unacceptable to be used to describe African descendants. Since the 1960s, I think it would have been. They said, don't use this anymore. This is wrong. You can't call people Negro. That would be the height of the civil rights movement. You do not refer to people of African descent as Negroes. You miss all of that, Anil. And since your PPP is a champion of the African descendants, why didn't you step up to say, this is unacceptable? So let me put it plain as plainly as possible on the platter for you. I have an issue with anyone in this country being referred to as a coolie. I don't play with that. I don't, and you ask people who know me, I do not refer to people as coolie, and I don't like it. And I tell those who are around me, don't refer to people as coolie. There's nothing I call a coolie in my book. Watch this carefully. Why? Because calling someone of Indian descent, East Indian descent, a coolie is deemed offensive. They couldn't say that with of course, Nigel and others and so on, Enrico Wolford. You don't have to be polished and so. I'm not polished when it comes to y'all. So let me tell you the raw as ever. Now, if I have an issue, I am of African descent. I'm of Hebrew descent. And I have an issue with my East Indian or Indo-Guyanese, as you call them, brothers and sisters being called coolie. Now, how the hell you could tell me that if coolie is offensive, Negro is acceptable? I ain't coming to polish anything with you. That's why I'm dressed in no suit and tie to talk to you. You, Anil Nandalal, and bring Barrett and Irfan to explain to me. Well, you spoke. You need to tell me, how is it that in Guyana, when you say coolie, you all have a problem? But you could say Negro was used for 180 years in the police force, and not a problem. Have you ever seen anyone who came from East India holding in front of them in the police station the info board reading male coolie? Have you ever seen the police force do that? Have you ever seen Anil Nandalal? Have you ever seen the Guyana police force? And I hate that terminology. I tell that before. I don't believe in anything called a force when it comes to me. Because these young boys joining think that they have the right to enforce certain things I'm concerned. And where other Guyanese are concerned. So come and talk. I ain't got a night with you because you're not worth my time. But you're not worth much of my time. You're worth this much of my time. You, Anil Nandalal, you, Bharat Jagdev, and all y'all who get your feelings hurt tonight, you tell me when you've ever seen a man of Indian descent or a woman of Indian descent standing with an information board before her saying, female coolie. Have you ever seen that? Oh, now if that were to happen tomorrow, where someone who like the driver who knocked somebody down and drove away, huh? If that man is arrested and you see him, Anil Nandalal, in any police station with holding in front of him this right here, a card saying male coolie, what would you do? You would turn the police. He can be fired in an instant. If Hicken has to arrest the police officer who would have written that. Hicken would have to drag him and put him under not close arrest in a cell. Hicken would have to ensure that that man is embarrassed publicly. There must be a video showing that you are disrespectful. Y'all would you'll smoke to your ears. Drag him before the ERC, Ethnic Relations Commission. Make sure he goes to jail. You would do all of that. Y'all dogs would do that. You dogs will ensure that happens at all cost. But if in 2024, Kaki Amsterdam is described as a Negro, to you it's not offensive. Get the point where I said you have displayed to me in this situation, Anil Nandalal, all that I require to see in a racist. And it's unfortunate you being paid to be an attorney general. The idiot Kevon is... Boy, I tell you, changing him. Any man named Kevon can't talk to me. You know what? Hold on. This may be a good night to hear an idiot defend the PPP. Because they have to pay you to come. You being paid to be stupid. So come. You don't have to ask to join me this tonight. I will bring you on this broadcast now, Kevin Lorimer, to defend what you're hearing. Come now. Let Bard give you some money for coming on my page and make yourself the donkey that you are. Come. Mind you, Kevon, you are not African. Neither are you of Indian descent. So what I want you to show me is when you ever saw the police force having a native Guyanese standing in front with his card and it's just saying male buck, female buck man. Have you ever seen that? Huh? Or you don't want to answer the live request? Have you ever seen the Guyana police force having any one of my great grandmother tears acquire? That's why I have this kind of nose. Have you ever seen anybody in Guyana police force labeling an Amerindian or native Guyanese as buckman, male buck, female buck? So further, I say to you, Mr. Nandalal, how is it? And I've asked this on other broadcasts, but tonight, this one right here, I need to ask you straight up as a man, if you are standing as one. How could it be that the Guyana police force, when they arrest a man of Indian descent, they say he's East Indian? East India is a place. East Indians are deemed to have come from a place called East India. That's common sense, which Afan doesn't have. And which Anil definitely doesn't have in this situation. Portuguese are from Portugal. Hence they call Portuguese. You are Europeans, by the way, you Portuguese. My grandfather's Portuguese, I can tell you all. He is European. There's not Europe and Portugal. Portugal is in Europe. My grandfather is Portuguese because he came from Portugal. Or his parents came from there. Europeans are, even if they call Caucasians, they came from the Caucasus Mountains, so at least there's a location attached to them. Europeans came from Europe. Amerindians are American Indians. There's a location. They said they came from the Bering Strait and came through. Okay, fine. You see I'm at so far? Chinese came from China. There's a location. Hence, if you came from China, you call Chinese. Now, tell me, Anil Nandlal, in 2024, why the heck do you not have basic common sense to say that black is not a location, Negro is not a location? It's a term used to speak to a people who came from Africa and who are dark skinned in origin. You dunce done the head nut. You're telling me that in 2024, you can't reason so simply to say something is wrong with this equation? How does the Ghana Police Force have in its lexicon, its term of usage, its body of language, East Indian, Chinese, Portuguese, which is totally wrong, European, Amerindian, or native Guyanese, Chinese, and then when you come, mixed race, when you come to me and to Kadaki and to Nigel Hughes, to David Granger, to Mark Phillips, you Todd, Onij Waldron, the waste called Joe Hamilton. Tell him how you feel. It's because you're a waste to me as far as I see you. You did nothing sensible when it comes to ministry works. You're a waste of time and taxpayers' money. Ministry of Labor. Oh, when it comes to those people, suddenly where we came from doesn't count. We describe as black, or in the Ghana Police Force's language, we describe as Negro. Huh? And this, Aubrey Norton, you and the PNC can't respond to this, even though you have got Congress in a few days, man. Show some chutzpah. Show that you got some sense and some strength to fight for something. Only when it applies to us, where we came from, doesn't count. Black is how you describe people of my ancestry. Negro, which is what the Europeans used to describe slaves and those who were potential slaves, who could be bought and sold. You dogs got the mind to tell me that you don't have common sense to know that this is something wrong? Huh? I call on everyone who was born out of the loins of an African or a Hebrew man to mount a resistance to this starting now. You don't accept this anymore. I don't care what circle you are in. If you go to fill a form, you see Negro, call whoever gave you the form and say, listen to me. I'm not accepting this. Let there be, Ali, if you are not racist, Irfan Ali, you at least go out with a bang. Go out telling all of Guyana there is an order from the president that as of tomorrow or tonight midnight, not another Guyanese must be called Negro in anywhere, and change all the forms, make all the adjustments, including when you enter the army or if it is, change all. Change all. Anil could not condemn it. Anil could not say the police was wrong. Anil could not say this is unacceptable in 2020 because the facts are there. That even in the dictionary, the word it's termed dated and it's called offensive. You don't bat. In a dictionary, Merriam-Webster, Oxford Dictionary, the term Negro is listed as being dated, meaning you don't use it anymore. And it's also listed as being offensive. And you, with all the law books you got, you say it was gifted however you got them. You can't see that this research, that's what you have books for. Research and see that this is an offensive term. If I could oppose and continue to oppose people being called coolie in my country, you had better the hell wake up and understand that you're not going to call anybody Negro here. And you're not defending and get off with it. I tell you, all you're a bunch of sick, mangy dogs. That's what I see you as. Until you begin to behave differently, I call you what you are. And this in person, this is what I see you as. Until you begin to treat people differently, you are, in my eyes, a group of sick, mangy dogs. Disgraceful, disrespectful miscreants. And what is even worse in this situation is that a black magistrate, as you all call yourself, or a black judge would say to me, you shouldn't call them that. Y'all, you will never stand up as even in the judiciary and say that this man has a point. How could you have Indo-Guyanese? Me, I came from India. East Indian descent, Amerindian descent, Chinese, Portuguese, but you don't have African? What the hell is wrong with y'all? And I'm an African because I would not take the name of anybody who took Africa to be theirs. But even in that, I could understand. I can understand that, okay, then a place is called Africa and you came from Africa. I can understand that. But don't you dare take your, boy, listen, don't you ever take, as they say, God out your thoughts, Anil and the lab. They said that but this was used for 180 years in the police force, so what's the issue now? And Nigel Hughes was just being opportunistic. Nigel Hughes is born of an African. What is wrong with you? Granger, Where is the rage? Where is the outrage? Where? Agda? Where is the outrage? Where? Like I'm at a loss when it comes to some of y'all. What happened? Where is the outrage from Africans, from Hebrews? Y'all could be quiet about this. Somebody could look at you and call you a Negro in this day and age, and y'all don't have a problem with that. Oh, you're scared to lose a job. You're scared you lose some opportunity. You are afraid that they're going to victimize you. Are you honestly telling me that? That you don't have a problem with that, that enough for you to talk? I tell you again as plainly as I can that if ever Anil Nandalal saw at any time, if Anil sees a man of Indian descent standing in the police force, in the lockup, with a card in front of him reading male coolie, Anil would flip out. He would go in. Guyana would be on fire if you ask me in certain circles. And don't let it be PNC in power. Don't let it be PNC or AFC in office, and some male of Indian descent is standing there saying, or with his card, male coolie. Do you know what will happen in this country? Do you know what happen in this country if you've got male buck, female buck woman? Okay. Or male Portuguese, female Portuguese. Oh, that's not oh my God. John Finance never pop up. How dare you? We are offended. You would hear it. You want to see one of them? Lock up a Chinese man, Chinese, Chen Feng. The Chinese embassy will step up. How can you say that about us? We want our money back. We take our business some guys and apologize. But when you get a European, you call them Ashkenazi or from the Caucasus Mountains. You call them that. Or call him white man. Or unmelanated. Pale skin or pale. Oh, how dare you? But when it comes to us, you could have no problem, Anil Nandalal, with police telling me, male Negro, no problem. No problem whatsoever. It was used for 180 years. When I just told you, Dumbo, that in the dictionaries of today, online or wherever you want to find them, it is listed as being dated, no longer a term in use. It is listed as being dated. Therefore, those in the Guyana Police Force who are responsible for this, I know some of y'all. You barely made it through primary school. You tried to really work hard for you to get to grade 6. Barely scraped through grade 6. So I could accuse some of y'all, not all of you, some of you. Some of you, you could hardly spell Negro. You must have to go to your phone and see how Negro is spelled. So I could excuse some of you. But dated means it is no longer a term in use. Further to that, the dictionary says that it is an offensive term. You don't use it anymore because it offends people when you use it. And in 2024, in the 4th year of the People's Progressive Party's leadership of this country, in the 4th year, young African men in the same Guyana police outfit could be proud to say Kaki is a Negro because they feel that's the acceptable term to use. And that's how you use the term of police. He's a Negro. Because if you only say he's an African descendant, maybe you'll be offending somebody. And you'll be told that you haven't used the right terminology. Male Negro boy, and there'll be a Negro telling you that. Another Negro will tell you, oh, male Negro, because you're a Negro. You're not African. You haven't even freed yourself yet. Emancipate yourself. Free yourself from this nonsense. You know what is also sad to me? That there are those of African descent, there are those of Hebrew descent, who will be saying, what's the problem? What's the issue? Why London got a problem? After all, they just say Negro. What's the big deal? Huh? Whether you like it, Anil, whether it hurts you, I really don't care. But you, no European, no Chinese, no Portuguese, no other ethnic group can label themselves as first people on this planet. None of y'all. You possess the DNA of what you call black people. All of you. Came from what you can't defend, what you would not like to defend. And it takes a very high degree of self-hatred for you to not accept the truth about where you came from. You have to, Irfan Ali, you have to, Mark Phillips, you will not even talk to Irfan, you, Mark Phillips, you are sitting as the highest ranked vice president in this country. You are the highest ranked African in this country. And you would be quiet about Anil saying that for 160 years, 80 years, this term was used to describe people of African descent. So Negro is not a big deal. Nigel just being opportunistic. And you, Todd, Onish, can't say, hey, no, no, I'm not accepting this from you. You can't even stand to fight for your own people, because if you fight for your people, you lose your position. Is it not a tragedy, Mark, that if you fight for your people, you would lose your position, hence you rather maintain your position and not fight for your people? Huh? Is it not a painful reality to you, Mark, that you can't even stand up for your own black people, as you all call yourselves? That's why I say to people, I will say it on any platform where I find myself, listen to me, I am not black, and I tell you all why. Because black is what? You have been disconnected from where you came from. So I'm Indian, they're proud, I'm East Indian. I'm Chinese, I'm European. And the finance and those other people, oh, I'm Portuguese. You're not Portuguese, you're European. Because Portugal is in Europe. But no, 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 no. We don't want to be associated with them, so we're Portuguese. But when it comes to me, you call me black. You ask some folk in New Amsterdam, Bees. Ask some folk from Kanji and other places, when I went to New Amsterdam Capital School and also its primary school, how much fat lips and fat eyes they got from this hand right here when they call me black man. I would beat the hell out of you. As a boy and every player, you can no. Don't I don't call you coolie, don't even risk calling me black man. I would punch the hell out of you. And if you play that, one of them, I jumped on a desk and kicked him in his chest and beat him down in the classroom. And when Miss Busjet in New Amsterdam, Ontario came and said to me, why you beat him? I said, he called me black. I look black to you? Now you qualify to call me black? And by the way, my left hand, my left shoulder was fractured, so this hand was trapped. And he had the best of my right hand. In the whole class, I beat him. Jump on the desk, kick him down, and put some solid blows. And you won't do that to me. I am thankful for my father. I call him Walter London, Banks London. I'm thankful for those men. I don't have grandfather. I'm thankful for the bloodline that I came from. I never came from no CC bloodline. I came from no weak man bloodline. If you want to disrespect me and call me black man, oh, so we have smart educators teaching social studies that Guyana had 6 races. Where it came from? Where is Portugal? When you have the European Championship, Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo plays for Portugal. Portugal is in Europe. They play in the European Championship. Portugal plays. I think they would have won. Did they win, Anthony? Tell me. I can't remember if Cristiano would have won. I think they won. So when Portugal would have played in the European Championship, Ghana didn't play. Are you teaching social studies year after year, Priya? We have very, very brilliant, a good curriculum. You got good curriculum. And you used to have 6 races in this country. And Portugal or Portuguese are different from Europeans. You all remember when in the Ministry of Education, it was in this, I highlighted that to you all, when the social studies curriculum had black people? Huh? What was it? I know I highlighted the issue. They listed everybody as when it came to us, or black people or whatever it is. Listen to me, man. Listen to me. You thought, I don't care how much money you get, 1 point whatever $1 million you get per month, own age. Well, that's apart from whatever side business some of y'all may have. I don't know how many you do it, but some of you in the PVP and at MLC, when you're all in certain positions, you have backdoor deals that you make to get a whole lot of money, and your cousin gets some contract, whatever. Okay, fine. Whatever it is, you mean them that you cannot at some point. You cannot at some point say that this has gone too far now in this country. Y'all can't do that. At least one of you can't surprise me and say, listen, man, Andrew, where are you? For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, including self-hate. When you hate yourself, you're going to let money override love of your own people. Gasper, little short black Gasper, have you spoken? Because you're an African. Have you addressed this, Gasper? Have you at any point come forward to say, how dare the Ghana police force describe my brother Kadaki? Oh no, Kadaki's not my brother. You could never call Kadaki your brother. Because if any one of y'all in PNC, PUP, take the risk of calling Kadaki your brother, you are out. And your party isn't racist. You can't even call me your brother, or they kick you out. But you're not racist. Bharat Jagdeo. Bharat Jagdeo. He's not any vice president in my book. He's Bharat Jagdeo. Sat at a press conference. It was streamed from the PPP's page. If you want to talk about cybercrime, that's the page it came from. Bharat Jagdeo referred to an African or a Hebrew female named Kati as a lowlife, which is what Negro speaks to. Anil didn't condemn Bharat Jagdeo. Priya couldn't condemn Bharat Jagdeo. Vinay Prasad can't dare do it. Hold on. So Anil could say that for 180 years, the term Negro is used in Ghana police force is not a problem. Bard could refer to Kaki as a low life. And that was not a problem either for the PPP. No, what's the problem? I have called and shall continue to call for there to be a revolution of how things are functioning in your country. You should not sit around. I don't care what ethnic group you're from. You should not sit around and have this happen in your country. I had a lot to do. I still have a lot to do. I'm quite busy. So I may be missing certain things in the media. But I have not seen the Ethnic Relations Commission dragging Hickin before them to say, fix this now. I haven't seen the Ethnic Relations. You could tell me. But they need to have a lot of videos posted, a lot of police officers sitting around saying, listen, we have to stop using this term to describe ourselves. Because most of you in the Ghana police force, most of you in the army are African descendants, and they call you black. I don't care what ethnicity you are. In this Kadaki situation, where the Guyana police force is calling people Negro, you should all condemn it. Not just African descendants. Every honest Guyanese who is genuinely not a racist, you should come forward and say that this is unacceptable, or through your representatives say that this can't work. This is unacceptable. We cannot do this in 2024. We can't do this. There's no way that we could let this happen in our country. No, don't do it. I bid you goodbye by yet again showing Anil Nandalal what he would turn hell over for. If you see an Indian man standing under arrest and on the chart it reads, male coolie, you would justify Anil Nandalal. Whatever is done to that policeman, you would justify it, you will demand it, you'll ensure it happens, and then you go on your program issues, whatever you call it, and you'll speak boldly. You know, you talk, well, you know, we have to have this cannot be accepted. Right. You know, you talk as if you've got a permanent sinus issue, you're cold, your nose always blocked up. Good. We can't accept this. There's no way that we can have this happen in our country. You would go at length to ensure that that person is dealt with and made an example in the Ghana police force. You, Bart will have a press conference to say, in his typical manner, we can't have that happen in our country. There's no way that we can have that in our country. We can have that. And Pelori president, Iqbal president, will come forward. And all you'll be able to say is one Guyana. Because you have nothing sensible to say to anybody. But I can guarantee you that Priya will be posting quickly. You can't do that. Oh, you'll have Mark Phillips will be sent forward to say you cannot refer to people as coolie. Mark Phillips will be sent to condemn an African if he do that. But in 2024, according to Paul Gregory's calendar, Anil could say that for 180 years, we could stand with this in front of us saying male Negro, though the dictionaries, though the encyclopedias, though the UN and other places have deemed this term to be dated and offensive. John Smith can be heard from Rafa Messiah is lost. Pereira disappeared. Well, you got European name. Lal, Chetram Lal, you have Indian descent. But you take time from black people though. But you can't talk. Adventist Clark, you would not speak. Brethren, Yearwood, you may talk. Hopefully before the week is over. All of the religious organizations in this country, your headquarters are in Georgetown. And you can't even issue a statement to say that this should be condemned. But I came tonight to present you all with a vivid, yet again, vivid understanding or description of what you have to deal with. If you could call anybody in this country in the police force, if you can refer to anybody as Negro, then you have to refer to other people as Kuli, Buckman, Chinese man, Portuguese, white man. You can't stop. Dog law, not mixed. Let's go all the way. If you could refer, if you know, as I've informed you, and you know it to be so, that according to the dictionary, according to the encyclopedias, the term Negro is offensive. If you could call any Negro in this country, anybody in this country, a Negro, then let's go all the way in reference to what the police force will do. That is my contention. Now, if you're going to say to me that no, you can't call people Kuli in the police force, then hell no, you can't call me Negro. That is the crux of my point. And if I could stand on the record, and people who know me know it, you don't call people Kuli around me. Now, if I could be of African descent, and I could say very seriously, don't do that, don't call people Kuli. You don't hear me say it. I don't call people Kuli. Now, if I could do that, then I expect any Indian descendant to do it. Talk. Because this, where Kevon? Kevon, you gone? Change him and come back. This is no game here. And when in this year I could see at this stage, when I can see that in my country, you can call an African descendant a Negro, and then Anil Nandalal could show up and not even say, I'm sorry. This is a great misstep by the Guyana police force. This has to stop now. Robeson Ben can't pop up to say, how can you do that? We cannot be referring to people as Negro in this. No. And you all remember the UN sent the Human Rights Commission here? Said the Human Rights Commission would have questioned, as a matter of fact, Gail Tashira and stuff, and she wobbled and can't tell the truth. You have a chance to redeem yourself by saying this has to stop. And then you present evidence to the US and the UN. You see that? We, not APNA AFC, we in the People's Progressive Party, we stopped the police from calling any Guyanese Negro. No. What the record shows, Anil, is that you issued a statement last night. I think it would have been. You issued a statement, Anil, and in your statement you said that Hughes and Jefford are just being opportunistic because all along they didn't object to people being called Negro. And that to you, actually, Anil, meant something. And somehow in your PPP circles, they would say, yes, Anil get them again thereby. Anil knock them again thereby. Not realizing that you've exposed yourself to me and other people for what you actually are. It's one thing to oppress people and cover it with, well, we working at one region at a time and we're trying our best to spread the resources. It doesn't work. We could try that. But when it comes to a man's ethnic existence and his ethnic reality, and you seek to destroy and disrespect his dignity in reference to we came from the 1st of August, you jump up with your stupid selves on it, but we want to respect where African came from. Get out of my, I told you that, Irfan, and now they understand why I said it. You, Barrett, Anil, Priya, none of y'all could talk for me when it comes to being African. Not one of y'all. And now Guyana is seeing why I said it. You cannot speak for me as an African man. Never. Get. And with that, I say goodbye. And to you, racist dogs, I say, get. Dumb, daft, stupid selves. I forgot to talk to your young man in Guyana. In Guyana. Call it Guyana Police Services. It's a service. You're not a force. Let me tell you, young African men, I always defend y'all when it's right. Don't bring yourselves to being this way to your own people. I don't care what can anybody promise y'all. Don't bring yourself to a place whereby you walk on your own people's neck, because if I wouldn't do it, Anil wouldn't do it, Priya would not do it. For heaven's sake, stand up for something. Don't call yourself Negro, and don't you dare do it to your brother and sister in this country. You're not a Negro. You're not bought. You're not a slave. You are the son of greatness, man. Y'all stop seeing yourself as some stupid little policeman. Your history in this world doesn't lend itself to you calling yourself some Negro. You are better than that. You're greater than that. Stop fighting and stop oppressing your people. Stop it. You're better than that. You don't have to call anybody Negro. It has to stop. And I would like to announce that every Guyanese who hears me, make this go as far as it has to go. Put it on the hashtag, I am not a Negro. And it has to fix that. Hashtag not a Negro. Yeah, boy, look, you guys pass me. What I hope for some of y'all's sake, y'all say I'm Chinese man. What I hope for some of y'all's sake is for some of these same PPP crawlers to come in my face and call me black man or Negro. One of y'all. Oh, I bet that one of y'all who's a member of parliament, wherever you are, a minister, I want you to come in range and call me Negro. And don't have all the 55 bodyguards around you. Let's go man to man in some room somewhere, put all weapons aside, 2 hands, and let's go into the room and you call me Negro in my face. I bet you when you walk out of the room, you come out, although when you're able to speak, you get out there, you begin to be a champion of the cause of the Africans and the Hebrews. I guarantee you, when I finish with you, you would come out of that room, go live when you've been mended, and you will say that there was a place called Akabulon, and there were great people who built pyramids, sphinxes, majestic architectural work. You will begin to talk. And you begin to say that they were businessmen. They were dragged from their places of wealth and power. They were sold by some of their brothers and some of the Arabs. They were sold. And although they came through the transatlantic trade, they still did not lose their ability to work hard and to do business. When I get through with you, you'll begin to teach African history. Put me in a room. Put all your bodyguards outside. Put all the weapons outside and call me black man or call me Negro. And when I get through with you, you will teach African history. That's all we need. Just these two right here. You got yours and I have mine. And you, when I get through with you, will teach African history for the rest of your life. That's what I want. You make the mistake of coming in my face and call me Negro, and then let's go into the room and come back out. 10 minutes. That's all I need. I tell you, I know sissy preacher. And a little girly soft boy preacher. And Joel Austin kind of soft Jesus preacher. You barking up the wrong tree with me. Brothers, sisters, enemies, and friends, do well.